learning the tools of songwriting actually started earlier than me deciding to pursue it as a career. I was in voice lessons with a very popular vocal coach at the time. Her name was Robin Brown, and she worked with everybody from TLC to Monica to Usher, just anybody you could name, especially out of Atlanta, she worked with. And one day I think she asked me to write something, and I wrote something, and then she said, "You should be a writer." And I took it as an insult. I thought she was telling me, oh, just be in the background and just write songs. So I rebelled against it for the longest time. And she's like, no, you're really prolific. You should write songs. I want you to really focus on writing songs because that's where the money is. And that's when, at the time, that's when, Tony was dealing with some money issues and things like that. And she started teaching me about how artists didn't own anything. They weren't making money. So she said, this is your way to be able to always make money. So that's when I really started taking songwriting seriously and learning how to structure a song and things like that, and realizing that there are people who had careers as songwriter. Because as a kid, you don't know that. All you see is the name and lights. All you see is the videos. You don't know that it goes back to people like Smokey Robinson, who was just killing the game, just writing music, but was also an artist. There was Smokey before there was Neo, doing both. So once I realized, okay, that's a career. So let me at least get better at it and better at it. So that's when that started. And then, as time progressed, like I said, when I'm on the road, I've just always been the type of person I want to be impressive. So I would just go as hard as I could, listening, studying, and just trying to figure out ways that I could get better and better. And I had a friend who we now know as The Dream, but at that time he was just a friend of mine. He hadn't popped off yet, but he was a writer. And I would listen to things that he did, and he would give feedback, and he would invite me over to Red Zone, and I would just kind of sit and listen, and he would leave the room and say, okay, write the second verse. And it would take me like an hour to write the verse, and I would go through 4 different options, and then when he come back in the room, he'll write something and say, and I would say, wow, that's exactly what I came up with 3 times ago. And he said, always go with your first thought. So that really developed one of the ways that I write music, is that I just kind of write from a natural, emotional, conversational place, the first thought. I try not to overthink it. So that is how I build my songs and my storytelling. It's just going with my first thought.